Hi, my name is Louise Griffith, and I am the author of this book, You Are Worth It. 52 Weeks to Honoring, Loving, and Nurturing Your Soul. Some years ago, I was exercising at Curves, and a younger woman to my left told me that she had lost 65 pounds so far that year. And being curious, I asked how this happened to be at this time in her life. Her response changed my life forever. She said, I woke up one morning and just decided I was worth it. And so for about 3 days, that phrase stayed with me. And I decided that if you don't think you're worth it, and I don't think I'm worth it, whatever our it's may be, it may never happen, or may never happen at the level that it can, or as soon as it can. And so that really was the basis of my work now going forward with You Are Worth It. And I really ended up loving this book. It came together in a way that was simple, practical, and in a way profound. The 52 weeks come from my experience of 28 years as a psychologist and as a success coach. And each of them I have lived in my own life. So you'll find them to be very simple. I'm looking at week 29, guard your safety. I'm looking at week 15, set realistic expectations. They all have a short 2 to 3 page time to reflect with some I am worth it reflection questions. I recommend that you go through this book once without doing any of the exercises, and then come back and do actually just one a week. It's very nice to have one focus for each week. And I also highly recommend doing this with a friend, and actually even I've done this in groups, because you get support and you get other people's perspectives. So however you choose to do it, I hope that you will begin, because guess what? You are worth it.
My name is Joann Finch. I own a company called Marketing Dish, and like most of you, I'm a busy professional. I love Louise's book because, number one, it made me stop and think about my life, what was important to me, and it made me highlight the things I wasn't nurturing about my own soul. Louise's book is easy to read. It's chunked down week by week, so it's not a lot of time, but it does encourage you to answer the right questions for yourself. And for me personally, it really helped me look at maybe what was standing in my own way, what were my limiting beliefs, and how was I going to change them in order to change the outcomes of my life. So thank you, Louise. I encourage any of you to pick up this book and really jump into it, because as Louise says, if you don't honor your soul, who will?
Hi, my name's Rina Yousome, and I participated in a conversation circle with Louise Griffith and probably 8 other lovely women, and we went through this book called You Are Worth It, which is 52 Weeks of Honoring, Loving, and Nurturing Your Soul. And what Louise Griffith did is she picked out several weeks, and what I did as a result of that, so on each of these weeks I had a little card that I would write down the focus, which is choose your story, and then there were several questions that you had to answer, and I would kind of go through and I would answer them. And for this one specifically, it's what I was not going to do is not let people or circumstances make me disorganized inside. And I went through the chapters in the book and put them on these cards so I could keep them with me. So there's 52 weeks here, and the week that helped me the most was setting boundaries, and it has been really incredibly pivotal for me because I didn't really know what a boundary was, and that might sound kind of silly to you, and it might sound like I'm late to the party, but I know what expectations are, and I know that you expect people to follow through on certain expectations, but as far as not allowing them into my world, that was something that I had never really experienced, and it has been really helpful for me just to understand that concept and work with Louise and the wonderful women who have been in her conversation circle to really focus on what that means. And it's been really transformative to me. So I hope you too will take a minute to at least look at her book and look at what the 52 weeks, the questions that it asks you to look at and revisit in your life. And you'll find some weeks that are really easy to answer and others that you're like, oh my God, I never even thought of that. So that's what I have to say about this, and you are worth it. So thank you.
My name is Georgina Madden, and You Are Worth It was a really important gift for me, and actually a companion for a year of my life. Maybe like many others, I spent 30 years of my life taking care of other people, taking care of my family and my children and my professional career and my clients. And then I found myself at one point an empty nester and divorced. And for the first time, I had the opportunity to really take care of me, to get to know myself again. And that is when You Are Worth It fell into my lap and gave me a whole year of, I would say, mindful self-awareness of, the messages that I gave to myself. It reminded me of a book that I read called The Four Agreements, and one of the agreements was to be impeccable with your words. And one of the things that You Are Worth It gave me was to be really impeccable with the words that I use for myself, to really just be my own best friend. So of course, this journeyed with me for a year, and I felt like I found myself. I honored, loved, and nurtured my soul, exactly what it says here. I ended up buying multiple copies to give to all of my friends and my family and my children, really multi-generational. This is, I think, a journey that's worth taking for no matter what your age or stage of life is.